wanna be knocked out. Was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. God of the creation, the relations I've got. The only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its sides. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. You in yourself when no one's to be found. What keeps you eased out? What takes you off your mind?
Guess you want this, I want this. Everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them.
Good morning, people. How are you? Hey. We have an amazing show for you today.
I'm worried because Miguel was like, I have a surprise for you. And I'm like, oh, sometimes the surprises are gross, like we were talking about.
They're not okay. So one time I surprised her, and it wasn't a gross surprise.
It was those jelly beans.
And I have them right there too.
I know.
We should do another one.
Oh my gosh, those jelly beans. I didn't anticipate the grossness of them. I was
know.
like, yeah, it's gonna be gross, but like legit the grossness.
Well, the thing that really took me back was the fact that whatever they said they would taste like,
they tasted
that's
like
what
that.
exactly like. One was dirty underwear.
Oh my gosh, I had that like dirty Band-Aid.
Yeah, dirty Band-Aid.
That's disgusting. Like,
But it tasted. But this is the thing is, right? It tasted like a dirty Band-Aid.
it was disgusting. That was probably the grossest thing I've ever done. And I'm like, I'm okay with doing things like that, right? But I did not anticipate.
Eating dirty Band-Aids?
Well, in a jelly bean form, that is.
That's like kind of weird, yo.
You know what? I'll do anything once, right? Sorry. But not eat the legit ones. But okay, when have you asked me, let's do this. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. But then after I do it, I'm like, yeah, not for me.
That's not something that you gotta go around saying, dude.
I'll try anything once.
Yeah.
Except drugs. I will not do drugs. What else? Anything that's like outside of my value system, I will not do. But
Okay.
anything like fun, 100% I'll do.
Okay.
Oh, and
That's so much better.
what is it called when you jump out of the skydiving? I probably would not do that. Or bungee jumping, I would not do that.
Bungee jumping, I want to because it is on my bucket list, but I do fear so I went skydiving, you know that.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, and I want to try it again because I want to see how it feels like
When you're 40, over 40, just kidding.
So rude, honestly.
When you're 50, sorry, my mistake. Just kidding.
So rude. No, when you go, and I think I explained it in the show once. When you go skydiving for the first time, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So you are always like, "What's next?" And
You're anticipating, right?
Yeah, it's the anticipation of what's the next step, and so you're so focused on the next step that you can't really enjoy the entire process. So I want to go again, knowing that I know what the steps are and knowing what the procedure is, and see what do I get out of it going around the second time.
Yeah.
So it's expensive, like $350, $400.
But it's an experience, though. I feel like that kind of experience is worth it.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, right? Like at $400, it is pricey, but I'm like, it's something you're going to remember.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And I got the video and everything.
Oh my gosh.
So
legit crazy.
do you know that?
What?
So you know what we're talking about today, right?
Yeah, holding grudges. What? We were totally just had a side convo this morning about grudges. I mean, we're working on it.
We are this one I struggle with. I'm not gonna lie, and I still have. What do I say? I still got a long ways to go for this one.
I do an affirmation that helps me with this. I'm better than what I used to be, but I remind myself daily of what I'm trying to be as far as like my affirmation that helps me with not holding grudges is I am compassionate. Every morning I write, I am compassionate. And then like after that, I say, I allow people the space. No, I walk through life with consciousness and care, not expecting anything from anybody and always being always forgiving. So that kind of puts me in the right space, right?
Yeah, this is my kryptonite. I'm telling you right now, I'm Superman to everything and anything else. I will take a bullet and everything. But when it comes to like holding grudges, This is where I struggle with.
So here's the thing. I read this book. Every good thought comes with I read this book. Anyway, the reason why I changed my mindset with regards to grudges and forgiveness is because of this book about emotions that I read. And it talked about the importance of inner peace. And sometimes we're willing to trade our inner peace for having negative feelings about someone else. And when we do that, it's like we're holding a hot coal. Because at the end of the day, that person, like, they could care, they couldn't care, like, you know?
Nah.
So, no, I know. But for me, that's where I was like, you know what? I value my peace so much more now than anything else. And I will do anything in order to continue with my inner peace.
Okay, so hang on one second. Okay, so are we talking about the same thing? Because when I'm thinking holding grudges,
So what are you thinking when you say it?
So here's the thing. So when I hold grudges, well, no, okay, hang on. Okay, let's reverse. When I'm thinking holding grudges, I think what you're talking about is being angry and not being able to let go and
That is holding a grudge.
right. hang on. Lucy, let me explain, okay? So what I'm talking about is that if somebody does me wrong,
Okay.
and it really destroys my world,
Okay.
like I'm like beside myself, I tend to X them out of my life.
Yes. That totally makes sense. I would
Right.
do the same thing too.
Okay, and then not give two flying bejeebies for them. Like not in the sense that like I wish them harm,
Yeah.
but I could literally.
They're just not part of your life
they're
anymore.
just I don't care about them. I mean, if they need me, I would gladly help, but I would not consciously seek for them, knowing that what they are doing is hurting me.
Okay, so-
or hurting my family, and then destroying my emotions, right?
I think that's just being smart. I don't think that's holding a grudge.
Okay, so that's me.
Okay. So tell me,
But Tegan tells me that that's a grudge.
So let me ask you this. When you're going, okay, so this is to me what holding a grudge means.
Okay.
Is that you're
Let us know what you interpret from holding a grudge. and then we
yeah,
can talk.
because just
Okay, go.
realizing is like
Okay.
I guess it's your own interpretation, the way that you see it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So to me, holding a grudge means that you're actively thinking about this person, that is holding a negative space in your mind, that you just cannot surpass whatever a thing it is that you did and that they did, and they just kind of leave you stuck. It's like leaving you parked in this particular place where you have a difficulty moving on.
No.
So
That's not me.
yeah, so that for me. So I don't think in my books, in my opinion, that's not a grudge, because for me, I would be okay removing someone from my life, right?
Yeah.
And just not having them be a part of my life anymore if what they did, like you did, caused me harm. I don't think that's smart. I don't think part of forgiveness is allowing that person to come back and keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Forgiveness means just letting go of what has already happened, right?
Yeah.
But not to the point where you're allowing the same harm to happen again.
Okay.
So that to me is holding a grudge. To me means that I'm stuck in this emotion and I can't move past it.
Yeah. That's not me.
So you are pretty good at like you just remove them from your life.
Yeah, I do. I just X them. I just like and I'm pretty. I don't want to say I'm pretty quick to forgive. Like I'd be like, somebody does something, I'm like, okay, it was a mistake. Let's move on. Then they do it again, and we're like, okay, what's going on? Then they do it again, and it's just like it keeps coming back and
Oh,
back.
hey, Vanessa. Sorry, I started
Yeah.
KO.
To me, a grudge is actively using your mental energy to on someone and letting them live rent free in your head, as opposed to Miguel was described. That sounds more like releasing them.
100%. I agree.
Boom! You're not thug, dude. You're
That's me
not
being thug.
You are not thug at all. This is the whitest Spanish person ever. You are not thug at all.
I'm trying to be. Let me be me, man.
No, dude.
Let me be me.
No, that hat.
Let me be.
That hat's got you shook. Yo, pra. What are you? Well, you are from Scarborough, right?
I lived there for a little bit.
Okay, you got some
there
street cred. I'm from Scarborough.
Okay, I'm not. That was me. That's me being genuine. Me.
You're like the whitest Molly Mormon.
That's not true. Let me be me.
No, definitely no. So Vanessa, what's up? Welcome back. You're too much.
Cut out Maria. How dare you?
telling-
All of a sudden, it's just the Miguel podcast.
Yeah, it's just
I'm
me.
like,
It's just me, and there's like a question mark on the other side.
Hey, Jimmy
You-
Blanhard is
So
on.
Jimmy, I don't know if I'm a fan of Jimmy or I'm Xing him out of my life.
You're still
know
in
he
the
moved,
works.
right?
Yeah, I saw a picture of him
Yeah.
in that truck
Yeah.
moving to Alberta. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. I'm like, why did you leave me? I took it personal.
Oh man.
No, I'm joking, Jimmy. You are like, we are gonna miss you at the Christmas party. So if you can make it, that would be awesome. Make a nice little appearance. But this guy was like the best in the ward. Oh my gosh, he was amazing in the ward. But yeah, so you can forgive but not forget. But is that not holding a grudge?
I think forget. I agree. It's like I agree 50%, I guess, with Jimmy as well. But that you can't like. Okay, so
Because Bible says forgive 7 times 70, right?
and I 100% believe that we should forgive, because I've been studying this really hardcore in the last little bit, and I've realized that forgiveness is never about the other person. It's always about us.
Okay.
Forgiveness allows healing towards us, right? And so that like changing that mindset around forgiveness has really, really helped me. And like Vanessa said, is about releasing. Now, with regards to forgetting, there are certain things that are, I think with forgetting, you forget the pain that it caused, but you still remember the action. Because I think about the things that I've done in my life and things that I felt really guilty, shame, like kind of like been in a really negative headspace, and just kind of transitioning back to coming to church and that forgiveness that I experienced. I didn't actually forget what I actually did, but the shame and the guilt is completely forgotten.
Okay, so,
that's-
no.
That is how
But I know what you're saying. But there is doctrinal proof that we should not forget the pain. Because it's the pain that causes you not to do it again.
But then why would he say forgive? Like, no, I don't.
But that's what I'm saying. So here's
You're gonna have to pull out these resources. He's shoddy bishop over here.
So
Just kidding.
holy crap.
I'm just kidding. If someone breaks into your house and steals from you, you can install a security alarm and still forgive them. Would that be a grudge? No. That would be because you're doing something about it. You're installing a security alarm. What's the cost? Like, what is holding a grudge going to do for you? Nothing.
Okay.
It's only going to hurt you.
So okay, I think we're talking about like 3 or 4 different things here right now. So what Jimmy says, forgive.
Jimmy's coming back. 2:37, he says.
No, he almost booked a ticket. You have not seen the last of it. But here's the thing is, so I think we're talking about 3 or 4 different things. So let's dissect the first thing. This
Okay.
forgive and forget.
Okay.
I think it's one of those mottos, catchphrase, not mottos. What are they called?
Theories.
Catchy,
like,
catchy phrases.
okay.
But I think that catchy phrase, it's catchy and it's caught on and everybody says it. Everybody and their mother says it. But I think it does more harm than good.
The forgive and forget.
Forgive and forget. Because here's the thing is, right? And it's a double-edged sword. So if you have forgotten you can forgive. But if you always hold something against them, have you really forgiven them?
No, because they are like Vanessa said, they're living in your head rent free.
Right. So that's not the forgetting part, right? Now, so that's one thing. That's part one.
Okay.
The other thing is when it comes to personal worthiness, if you've done something, you should forgive yourself.
Yeah.
You can't truly forget the pain because it's the pain that causes you not to do it again.
Let me blow your mind right now. 100% I've forgotten the pain. I remember how I felt, but I don't feel that anymore.
No, you shouldn't feel the guilt.
And the pain, yeah. But
But the pain, you should definitely feel the pain.
No, I don't feel the pain at all. I know like the things that happened in my past are in my past. I've gone through like those whole things to like work through these issues that I had in the past.
Right.
And I 100% have forgiven myself, 100% know that the Lord has forgiven me.
I agree.
And I don't feel the shame or the guilt that was attached to it like I did way back in the past.
We're not talking about guilt. I'm not talking about guilt.
Even pain, I don't feel it. And because I don't feel, I haven't done it. So I have to disagree with you. I don't think it's necessary to feel the pain in order not to do it again, because it's been like 20 years. No, hold on. I came back when I was 22. So it's been like 16 years since I've been back, and 100% I would never go down that path again. 100%. And I don't have the pain attached to it.
Right. But I think you wouldn't go down that path because you're at a level of, I don't want to say righteousness, but you're because you're
Look at me.
because you're not all there. Like you're not
Says the shoddy bishop. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Don't be starting rumors, yo. Disturbing the peace in my ward. Don't even go there.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
No, what I'm talking about, what I'm explicitly talking about here is that right
You're
now
sweating.
I
Why
know
are you
I'm sweating
sweating?
because I actually feel passionate about this.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, because here's the thing is, right? Is when you are not okay. It's the whole yin and yang, right? So you are at a level right now of just goodness, and you're doing good. You're reading your scriptures, you're saying your prayers, you're going to church, you're magnifying your calling, you're doing all these different things. And that righteousness of you, it's stopping you from committing sin or doing something bad. Mm-hmm. Okay? Okay, great. You not doing what you used to do before, like we can only imagine all the crap that you used to do before.
100%. I was not this person, guys. I was so mean. I made people cry and I would laugh. That was how mean I was.
For real?
100%. I worked at TELUS, and I remember there was these two girls having conflict, and I sided with one of the girls, and we were closing, and I came up, and I don't know what I said. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I made the girl cry. She was like cashing out the register. I said something, literally, like I saw tears coming down her eyes, and I walked away laughing. How horrible is that?
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Like, that was, so anyone can change.
Maybe you are. Bro. I'm like, okay, I take it back.
Listen, I was intense. I was legit intense.
That's funny. Maybe one day we'll open up my can of worms. But anyways, because that was pretty funny. No, but it's the even the Lamanites, right? So in the scriptures, there talks about two different groups or whatever, and there's these horrible tribe that they used to do all these bad things, whatever. And then they went good. But it was the pain of remembering how much pain they caused upon others that stopped them from moving forward and doing it again.
See, the pain of remembering, right? So this is kind of like...
Because I think we're talking about two things here. We're talking about pain, the pain of like, I remember how I felt when I did it.
Yeah.
Versus, I still feel guilty.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
I'm not talking about guilt.
Yeah.
Guilt, 100%, it should leave your body.
Yeah.
But forgetting how you felt in the past stops people from moving forward and doing it again. Because like, man, if I do this, I remember how much I disappointed my kids, my children, my wife, my family, all my friends.
See, I remember that. So this is the thing. Because I remember the way how I felt. I remember feeling unhappy.
Right.
I remember those feelings, right?
100%.
However, it's not, I guess I guess you're right, because in a way I don't actually
Say it again.
Anyway.
Say it again. Say it for the whole world to hear. Say it again.
I guess in a way he's right. No, but the thing is that you're right. Okay. So I don't feel...
Did you hear that?
I guess when I was... where I was thinking is like feeling the actual feelings of how I felt when I was doing those things, right?
No.
But as opposed to feeling...
You need to let go of those things.
Yeah, 100%. You need to let go. And do you know what? Sometimes letting go is a choice that you actually have to do.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I do remember right now is how unhappy I was and never wanting that life again.
100%.
So that is 100% what keeps me, what keeps me grounded, what keeps me close to my values and my priorities.
Yeah, and then and again, in the scriptures, it talks about this group, just they would remember all the pain that they caused from the plundering and pillaging and all the murdering and all, like how they felt when they didn't have the Spirit of the Lord. Then they converted, then they turned good. But then they always remembered how they felt.
It's true.
And then that caused them never to want to go back to that life, because even if they were tempted, it's like, oh, man.
You have like the opposites. You're like, I could do that, but it led me down this path. Do I really want to go down this path?
Exactly. Versus the Nephites, right? they never felt that. And so it was when it was time for them to choose good or bad, they didn't know how the bad felt.
Yeah.
And so then they kind of like chose the bad, and they were more willing to do bad things. And then some returned and others stayed bad. But yeah, like when you do things that you shouldn't, it's good to remember, not hold on to the pain or the grudge or the guilt, but it's good to remember how you felt so you don't do it again.
Because it gives you contrast.
100%.
And that's what I feel like I gained through all those years. They gave me contrast to that type of life that I wanted to live.
Yeah.
Because had I continued on the same path that I was, I definitely would not be here.
Now apply that to the grudge.
So okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me see what.
Vanessa said. What did she say?
I can think of a time I actually forgiven something or one, but I've definitely forgotten parts or whole events, and depending on what it was, the emotions associated with it will be a little fuzzy or still sharp. Absolutely, I think it's depending on the impact that person has had in your life.
Okay.
I think with some things is, and depending. So I think there's two parts to this. I think it's depending where you are in your journey with your mindset as well, and how you're feeling. That dictates how much of a grudge you're going to hold. Because I feel like if you're struggling in your life already as it is in different areas, it could be anything, and then somebody adds on something on top of that, it's going to feel more intense.
Yeah.
So I in my mind, I would think that it's harder to let go or forgive, or you hold on to that emotion a little longer, as opposed to if you're in a path where you're happy with yourself, or you're working on healing yourself, and then somebody comes out of the woodwork and does something, then you see them as them doing that based on what they're going through and not necessarily on you.
Yeah.
So it kind of creates that difference.
Well, I'll tell you. Hi, I wanted to offer promotion to channel's viewers.
Hey, we got a bot. Hey, we're making it.
What is this? Hang on, guys. Hang on.
Listen, guys, when you get bots, you're making it.
No. I'm going to read based on today. So don't go anywhere. But based on what we've been talking about, I need to share 2 posts with you.
Of who?
Don't worry.
Okay. So let's do that. Go.
No. I want to read this first. Hang on. What does it says here? So somebody from, what is it, Twitch?
Batman Babs. Shout out Batman Babs.
Hang on. No, that's not Batman Babs.
Hold on. Batman Obabs.
Batman
Obabs.
Ovavs.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Batman Ovavs. Wagwan, guy.
Or bot, we don't know.
Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality of guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredible, flexible, convenient, order management panel. Everything in your hands. Turn it on, off, customize. Go to doggy.
Dodge, not doggy. I thought. Listen, we celebrate bots because that means we're making it.
She's making fun of you. You're like celebrating your gut of bot.
100%. We celebrate the small things.
Oh my gosh. So
Okay.
I want to share something. So
I hope they're not my posts.
No, they're not on your post. But
Okay.
this is absolutely hilarious. So
Okay.
watch this. So just to give you a little bit, just to let you know what's going on here. So we have a whole bunch of downloadables, right? Or we're starting to create a whole bunch of downloadables. We got like 4 or 5 plus 2 booklets.
Yeah.
Like it's credible things, practices that we do in our lives. They're gonna bring comfort to you and progression. So, anyways, long story short.
The words Miguel mispronounces hold the ground. Listen, you're gonna upset the doggy hype guy.
The doggy. I know. That is doggy. It is doggy. It's doggy.
Doggy.
No. It's dohe hipe. Dohehipe.com. And so we are starting to promote these things.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we're doing is we're doing paid promotion. So ads.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So I got 2 comments
And your ads?
on one of my ads.
Okay, tell me.
This is, you don't go anywhere. You want to hear these things. Hang on one second. But I was looking at it, and the first one that came in, it was like, you stinking. So I went, hang on.
Haters? Are you thinking haters?
It was totally a hater.
Oh my gosh.
I went on explorer. Like I felt like Dora.
Come on, maps.
Because 100. Because here's what happened. So I want to tell you how much time I invested in this.
Tell us.
So I we have a page, a fan page, right? Which is the MTC Live page. As a page, you can't view
Profiles.
a profile. I don't know if you knew that.
I think I did, but you went on your own personal and did a little investigation.
So I Google searched this guy. All of his socials came up. So I'm not gonna dock him today.
Can I just
Do
see?
you know what dock is?
No.
Dock is when you publicly announce who the person is.
Oh, okay.
And then people go after the guy. Like
We're not gonna do
name,
that.
phone number, his name, like all these different things. So this is the guy.
Can I just see the picture?
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the
Oh
joke.
my gosh. He kind of looks like your father-in-law.
Can you imagine?
It's secretly Tegan's dad. Just kidding.
Docs. Yes, I used it. I never said DOC, man. Docs. This guy. Why you course correcting me, man? Okay, log off day. So the first. So
tell us what he said.
So the first page that we put was the.
Just give us initials. We need a name. So just initials.
We'll call him MD.
MD. Okay, tell us what MD said.
MD says. So MD, this is such a classic. So MD. So well, before I tell you what he said, I got to tell you where because I have a couple of promotions happening.
Okay.
So I got to tell you which one. It's the habit breaker.
Okay.
The personal progression.
Okay.
Right. So I put 2 promotions out there. One's for fitness,
Okay.
getting rid of your rut, right, and all this other stuff. And
Yes, all this hard work. Don't hold grudge.
you are not. Yeah. So you're not nice, man. Whatever. But what was I saying? Yeah. So the first one was getting back into fitness. The second one was quit smoking.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Did he give you a whole long spiel about why smoking is good?
Hang on one second.
Okay, tell me.
And this is a legit guy. So this is not a troll or anything like that. Like I went on his Facebook profile. I checked his family. I know where he lives. I'm telling you think I'm lying here? I needed to know who this guy was, right?
Okay, tell us.
So
what did he say?
The first one, he says this. I hope he sees this podcast.
Oh, just link it. You
I
should
will
just
link.
link it.
I am gonna link it. I'm like, check this out, buddy. So this is for the smoking one. He says,
Was it the same person commenting on both or 2 different people?
no, it's the same. It's the same. First, he commented a day ago, and then he 2 days ago, and then he commented like last night
Again?
again.
Wow, you really like ruffle some feathers there, eh?
He's angry at me. MD is angry, so he says, "Up yours."
Okay.
But hang on. So I don't know if I should read it the way he wrote it because he did not include any punctuations.
Okay, just read it the way he wrote it.
Okay. Yeah, ready? Up yours. Too much BS. Smoking is harmless compared to pills and vaccines. If I wanted to kill someone, I would use the same pills he's taking that got him from a doctor pusher called Doctor.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Right? So let's
That's so intense that I'm like,
analyze this. So first of all, he called up yours. He tells me up mine.
thank you for that clarification.
All right, cool. I was like, okay. Then he goes, too much BS. Smoking is harmless compared to pills and vaccine. If I wanted to kill someone, I would use the same pills he's taking that he got from his drug pusher called a doctor.
What pills are you taking? Did you tell?
That guy needs Jesus.
Just put a link to some hymn. Love one another.
You know what? I am going to cut this podcast and I'm going to link it. I'm going to be like, hey, buddy, you're awesome. No, but I don't know what. You know what? Maybe he's going through some challenges, and I can't. And then he yesterday he wrote another one
Again?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I told you did the 2.
Okay. Go ahead.
The second one, right? And again, no punctuations. Smoking is one of the best things ever that came out with nobody ever died from it.
Okay.
Everybody that dies is on drugs called medication. The tobacco companies are being railroaded People need to wake up. The government works with the drug company. So this guy's got some serious like.
It must be so hard to live that life though, like of just not trusting anyone.
Yeah. So and so it's perfect with today with the grudge. Number one, right?
Yeah.
So I was like in the beginning, I was like, I got to know who this guy is, and I spent at least 30 minutes looking this joker up.
30 minutes of your life, just right there.
Wasted, gone.
Yep.
I'm never getting those 30 minutes back.
But you know about him, hey?
I do know, right? But number one, number two
Is he local or from the States?
I don't want to get. But that's exactly what I was gonna say. Where is this anger coming from? Because he doesn't know me.
No, he doesn't. It was just solely based on your short video. It's like a 2-minute video, right?
Well, no, it's based on the post.
Oh.
This is not even the video that
this is not a video.
No,
okay.
It's not even the video. This is the. Have you seen it? I don't know if I've shown it to you. The no smoking post.
I don't think I saw it. No.
It's the so it's pictures on. I'm experimenting with pictures and videos, but it's just a picture.
Okay.
That's all it is, right? But it's hang on, let me see if I can pull it up here. It's just I don't even know how to look it up. But anyways, it's just somebody breaking a cigarette.
Okay.
Right, and saying I don't want
maybe Maria's
it's not Maria. It wasn't Maria.
Listen, I just want to put out there that I love Tegan and her family and her parents. I was just joking. It was not him.
But it was it was not it was just a picture. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And then the picture, when you click it, it takes you to the downloadable, right? And it has like that video that you did see. And so for those who haven't seen that video, it's just a simple video that talks about like
habit breaking.
The pandemic brought a lot of insecurities, a lot of unwanted habits, like maybe like, smoking and all these different things. And then I just go off to say in that video, again, it's like a minute and a half, right?
Yeah.
A minute and 37 seconds.
But hey, people can find offense in that minute and 30 seconds. That's long enough to find something offensive.
And calling me I'm working with the government now. And
pill pusher.
I'm a pill pusher. And then what I'm doing is causing people to die.
Yeah. But see, someone like that, I'm like, it's so hard to hold a grudge to someone like that. Because you're kind of like, what?
No, I was in a dark place, man.
So you were upset, right?
I was upset with the first one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I got to let this go. And then I saw the second one. I'm like, okay, this is not something against me.
Yeah.
This is something has happened in his life and I have to be willing. He can't forgive me. I don't even know this guy, but I got to be the better person and be able just to like let go, forgive him, and just release, right? Release. And exactly what's being said today. Yeah. Not park there. Exactly. And for 30 minutes, that guy lived rent free in my head, and I found everything about him.
He knows where he lives.
I know.
Knows his family. You're causing their old personality to die. They need a new perspective in life.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Well, and even when the second comment gave me a little bit more relief when he says smoking has never killed anybody.
Because you know where at that point, you kind of know where his headspace is at.
Yeah. Something has happened in this guy's life. And so I think one of the things about letting go of grudges is just realizing that we don't know what the other person's going through.
Yeah.
My mom one day, she was at church and somebody didn't say hi to her.
And then it was hurtful, right?
For her.
Yeah.
It was the end of the world. I never want to speak to this person again. And I'm like, Mom, chill. Like, like maybe something's happened. Sure enough, that person was going through something rough and just could not talk to anybody. They just wanted to be in their own space, right?
Yeah.
And so I think one of the things with the grudges and not holding it, it's just understanding that the other person might be going through some stuff that you don't know.
Yeah. So now that you have said that, I was listening to General Conference. If you know what General Conference is where our church leaders do an address every 6 months and they talk about different topics. This one particular talk with regards to how a person reacts and interacts with the world when they're hurt. So they related the story. Do you remember the story of the dog? So the whole story goes where there's this guy, we'll call him Jack. Jack has a beautiful dog. The dog is trained in hunting. He is so eager to please his owner.
Is this the last one?
Yeah, this is the recent one. So he's so eager to please the owner, right? And Jack loves his dog. So he's like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna bring my friends. I'm gonna show off my dog. He's gonna do fantastic. Brings his friends. They go to this like hunting park, right? He lets the dog out and the dog is running around. He goes and registers, comes out, and then he's trying to do all these drills with the dog, and the dog is not moving. The dog is like next to him. He's not moving, not doing anything that he did before. So Jack, super frustrated. He's like, forget this. Let's go. He tries to get the dog into his kennel. Dog is not going in. Upset, he like picks up the dog, shoves the dog in. They take off. His friends, the whole ride, making fun of him. They're like, look at your dog kind of thing, right? So he's like fuming at this point, right? Anyway, so then he gets to the house, and as he usually does, he's inspecting his dog for ticks or cuts or anything like that. And then he runs his hand through the dog's torso and then finds this huge, deep cut that goes right to the bone. He didn't realize the dog had been severely hurt and that he was acting out of character, not because he didn't want to please Jack or because he didn't know what he needed to do, but it was because of the deep wounds that he had, right?
Wow.
So Jack, in tears, he takes him to the vet and like all that. But then the person that shared the story was relating it to how sometimes we judge others based on their actions, right? Not really knowing their deep wounds that they have and the reason why they're doing these things.
Holy crap.
100%.
That's good.
That
I
helped
needed
me
to hear
so
that.
much.
Yeah.
Listen, that helped me so much. I've been struggling hardcore. Like Miguel knows just my personal life sometimes feels like it's on fire.
Yeah.
And that story helped me so much with perspective because even though, like what the person said, they're like, whoever, like the person that's reacting the way that they are, it could be out of character. It could not make sense to you. And it's not necessarily based on you. It's based on what they're experiencing at that moment in time. Like that dog, right? Had a deep wound.
Dang.
Anyway, that really helped me with the whole perspective with regards to holding grudges and really accepting people how they are and not having an expectation of them to handle things the way that you would handle them. We're all different.
Wow. So I shouldn't have spent 30 minutes on this guy. I should have
No,
just...
it's part of the journey. You totally should have. Listen, I've been there. I parked. I've been like, how could I say this? Look at this. Did you see the picture? 100%.
Yeah.
I've been like I've shared with you. Like people
Yeah.
have judged me based on.
I judge you all the time.
100%.
Yeah, that hat especially.
My mom made me this hat. Listen, I gotta like. Furthermore, usually this part, like being in here, is usually freezing, so I came prepared. But
Yeah.
today's toasty warm.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
had the heater and I had everything. Anything that pushed out heat, I had it on.
Oh, it was so toasty warm. I came in, I was like, oh wow, this is comfortable.
Yeah. Did you guys see last week's podcast? She looked like an Eskimo.
I kept my winter jacket on. Was like, this time winter jacket came off.
See what Mike says? Every man has his secret sorrows, which the world knows not, and oftentimes we call a man cold when he is only sad.
Oh, babe, that's my husband right there.
Babe.
Aw.
Aw.
The great quote, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm like, we just need perspective sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Because we judge people based on circumstances.
Yeah.
And in reality, if we had a little bit more perspective, a little bit more grace, it would help us. It would help us in the long run.
Yeah.
Yes, we wouldn't add burden to that particular person, but also it would help us to forgive and just work through our emotions.
Yeah. Vanessa
Yeah.
says, everyone I think acts based on their personal experience, which varies from positive to traumatic.
Big word?
It is a big word. And so a lot of the times it's not about you.
100%.
And you know what? And I think that's where grudges stem.
Yeah.
It's because you make it about you. My mom makes it about when that lady didn't say hi to her, it was about her.
Yeah.
Not being able to realize that, you know what? It's not about you. Maybe she's going through something, right?
Yeah.
And so that has been my saving grace. And I
Yeah.
think that's why it's hard for me to hold grudge. And if it's something that's somebody continues doing something, I just like, okay,
You have to release. You have to let go.
I have to let go. I have to X them out of my life. And I
Sometimes
don't
it's
care
just
who
for-
you are. Like, you're
And
done.
sometimes it's just for a season, right? Like
It is.
that's
Yeah.
because that's the way that I'm seeing it right now. Like I'm just going through some own personal things, and I'm like, if I choose to walk away, it's only for a season, well knowing that if I continue to be in that situation, it's only going to make it worse,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes you just have to walk away, and it's okay to do it.
This makes sense why you never call me anymore. You relax. That's not it. That's not it. Did you? There was this guy that called. I was watching this speaker, this podcast, whatever, this interview, and he talks about how he wanted to build a business. He wanted to go into business, and the dad's like, no, you need to go to school, be an engineer, be a doctor, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. I want to, go off on my own, and I want to do whatever. And so he continued going to school, and then just started getting angry, like at his dad, right? And he goes, you know what? I have to be able to do me. And so while living at home, he would like leave the house, leave, and just start building his business outside of his house. Mm-hmm. And then for a while, the dad thought that he was leaving to go to school, but he just never told his dad.
Yeah.
So he just kept doing his thing, And then later the dad found out, you quit school, you're not going to school, you're doing a business. Like, yeah, furious. The dad's furious. Like, if you don't live here, then you're leaving the house. He's like, okay, bye. So he packed up his stuff, left, continued building the business, created a multi-million-dollar business, right? And then came back to his dad and it's like, look what I've created. And now they have like one of the best relationships. And so when asked about the father, then why did you leave your dad? When you left, did you try to continue with that relationship? Like, no, I needed a season of separation.
Yeah.
Right? I needed to focus on what I was doing. And as much as I love my father, he was holding me back. Right?
Oh my gosh. It's so hard to hear because sometimes like
that's the father
too, my gosh, right? I know. Oh, okay, keep going. Yeah. I know. I'm like, I'm feeling it inside.
But I'm like, and that story stuck with me. It's like that, like my father for me was my hero. Mm-hmm. He still is my hero. Everything that I am, everything that I am to my kids, to my family, it was my dad. My dad taught it to me. So he is my number one hero. My mom is my first love. And so I owe everything to them. And so for this guy to just be like, not have contact with his dad for years.
Wow.
And then not hating him. He just knew the end in mind was going to be different.
Yeah.
And that there needed to be a season of separation because as much as he loved his dad was pulling him down. Right. And so that
it's kind of powerful though because it's so hard to say, but I'm like, if you are in a place where you need healing, you need to sometimes step away from those people. It could be people that you love so much too, but it has to. If you do choose to do that, it has to be with purpose. Yeah. You can't do it nilly-willy.
And that's true. What they're saying there, right? His dad was doing it out of love, but sometimes you gotta bet on yourself.
Oh, 100%.
And that's, yeah.
Can you imagine though, if the guy would have gone to school, done what his dad wanted him, then essentially he would have like resented his dad.
Oh,
they would have
100%.
never been able to have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Resented. Yeah. That's a word, right?
Resented?
Yeah, I think that's a word.
That is a word.
Okay. I was like, I said it and I was like, it sounds kind of weird.
I'm saying yes. I'm like, resented. Yes, absolutely. I'm like, what does that mean?
I like big words.
Get two immigrants here doing a podcast. Hey, we're thinking about doing, I would love to do a podcast or do this in Spanish.
En español.
En español.
Okay. You just literally, do you remember that you called me the whitest like Spanish person ever? This guy not doing well for my self-confidence here in the Spanish world.
So here's something interesting what Vanessa said, right? The guy in the story is good. I wouldn't have left and not contacted or come back. Not because of anger though. It would be because at the beginning, but more so because he didn't believe in me. And life is too short for people to dragging you down with their own doubts and fears.
They put on you.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's so true.
But that's the thing is, right? And I think it's a little bit of what Day was saying, mm-hmm. right? They knew that the dad most likely was coming out of love.
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time, even though it was coming from a good place, the delivery was wrong. The message was maybe good, but the delivery was wrong, right? Stay in school, do what you need to do, whatever, all that other stuff. But the delivery was that. So when he left, he didn't left out of hate or anger.
Yeah.
He just left because I need to focus on what I'm doing. And then once it's built, I'll come back and I'll take care of my dad.
It's so hard. Like, I totally get it. And I get walking away, but then the complexity of the issue, because then I feel conflicted because one of the commandments is honor your mother and your father, right? And then your days may be long. But then at the same time, I'm like, I guess in a way you are well knowing that season of separation may not be long enough. It's such a complex thing. I'm like, you just got to figure out what's
Yeah.
What will keep you most connected with your family?
Yeah.
And if that's a little bit of separation, then sometimes it has to be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and so here what Dave says, it's a catch-22. I hate not talking to my parents and something happens to and
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're like, what if something happened where he was like building, and then something happened to his dad?
yeah.
So maybe, I guess maybe you would have to assess your life, but maybe a compromise would be talking, but not talking with anything that has to do, setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Be like, listen, I want to have a relationship with you, but I cannot talk to you with regards to school or business or anything like that.
Yeah. And please, we're not saying like ex your parents. Just like run away from home and build a
Can you
business.
imagine? I learned on this podcast, Vision to Success, that I need to ex my parents. No, do not ex your parents.
No, and the one of the big yeah, don't do that. Please don't do that.
Our kids are watching. They're like, did you?
Was that a green light? Does that mean I can go?
Oh my
No,
gosh.
and I think it's a little bit of what Vanessa says. It's
Yeah.
if there are people in your life that are holding you. Okay, let me share another example here. Years ago, actually with Day, I was part of a young men's program,
Okay.
and we went camping. Right. I probably shouldn't be telling this story. Anyways, so we went cliff jumping,
Okay.
right? And
Day, do you remember this?
actually, it wasn't Day. It was Richard, this other guy. Anyways,
Okay.
I want to tell the story because it all turned out okay.
Did you just spit?
I didn't spit. I had something. I had a chorizo in my mouth. I ate. What was I eating this morning? Oh, chicken. I had,
Manners.
No, I
We're
had-
live.
I know, but when I want to swallow it.
Anyway.
We went cliff jumping, and this kid was like, are you good? And he's like, yeah, good. So anyways, we're all cliff jumping. Everybody's good. And this kid jumps and
I'm nervous. Oh my gosh.
yeah, and he starts and he goes down and he doesn't come back up.
He didn't know how to swim?
And so we're like, now, mind you, this was like it wasn't big. It was like a 12-foot jump. It wasn't high.
Okay.
Right? It was whatever. And from the shore to where the kid was, again, it wasn't far, right? You can reach him with a branch, right? Anyways. And so this kid jumps and he's not coming back out of the water.
I'm dying. Okay.
And here I am with another leader with their parents trusted us with all these kids. It's like crap.
Did you jump in?
And so no. Hang on. So I was like, what's going on, right? And so and he starts to come back up. He's like, oh, I'm like, hey buddy, how are you? He goes, me ahogo. And in Spanish it means I'm drowning, right? But he's treading water.
Okay.
And so we're like, are you?
He's talking too.
Like, you're talking, you're treading water, you're not drowning, right? And he's like, me ahogo. And then he starts to go down. I'm like, oh crap, he is drowning.
Oh my gosh.
So Richard, my guy, he jumps in and he starts to swim over and he goes to grab him. But in the wanting to be saved, he starts pulling Richard down.
He was freaking out.
Right? He was freaking out, right? And so, and then Richard's like, with the kid that's like he's choking him in mid-water. And it's like, so we're like, oh my gosh, now I lost a youth and a leader, right?
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, what's going to happen? So Richard went on his back treading water and he pushed him with his leg.
Yeah.
And then he started approaching him, but instead of going hands first, he went in feet first.
Yeah.
And he kept telling him, calm down, relax, calm down. And he kept getting closer and closer. And every time he would try to whatever, he would kick him away. So later on, I found out why he did that. I took a lifeguard not a lifeguard course, first aid.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that they teach you is, because I was going to be working in the pool, why you do that's actually a technique.
Yeah.
And so one of the reasons why is because you're trying to do good, they're trying to be saved, but the problem is that they're not thinking properly because of the situation that they're in, so they can drag you down. So you got to go in a little bit at a time, and you got to be able to kick them away, right? And with the kick, it does push them back up.
Yeah.
And so you got to be able to kick them away, because if not, they're going to grab you and they're going to drag you down. And so I think there's a powerful message there, right?
Yeah.
It's like you want to save and you want to do this, you want to do all these great things, but you also have to be careful because the people around you, whether it's fear, personal trauma or experience, anger,
Love.
right?
Love is
For
a big
whatever
one.
reason, they can potentially drag you down, and you have to be willing to kick them away for a bit and then approach them again calmly. And if they're still there trying to drag you down, you got to be willing to do that kick.
Oh, I'm like, it's so, I feel like there's such a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
It's just there are certain people in our lives, I think everybody's lives, where it would be so difficult to apply that concept to.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's definitely not hard.
No, it's not. But it's
Sorry, it's definitely not easy. It's definitely hard,
well,
right?
the
Push
whole
people away.
yeah, but not because you don't love them.
No.
It's because you love them enough that you want to nurture that relationship. It's just that you know that right now is not the season to.
Well, there are certain people in my life right now that I do love them. I would do almost pretty much anything for them, but I'm not strong enough. And I know this because I've spoken to Tegan and my mom about it. I'm not strong enough to take their BS.
Yeah.
I can't, because me as a human being, I'm still weak, and I haven't reached that level of I can love you in spite of, or I can be around you in spite of you holding me down. Right? I'm not that strong of a swimmer right now, and so I need to get stronger as a swimmer.
Yeah.
To be able, because I've seen some lifeguards, whatever. They grab the people, they tie them around their neck, and then they're swimming with them, whatever, right? Like it's
like
insane.
a fireman hold.
Oh, like yeah, you tie them like a tie, right? And now you're wearing these people, these survivors, and you're swimming, and they're on your back, and these are strong swimmers. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, and so there are certain people in my life that I love them with all my heart. I'm weak. I'm a weak person. I'm a weak man. And that when I'm around them, they make me feel certain ways, and I gotta do that kick. I gotta be like, I can't go down with you, because if I go down, there's the business, there's my family, there's my calling that goes down with me. So I gotta be able to protect everyone else, right?
Yeah, and like Mike, not Mike, Miguel. Well, it's a good thing I called you Mike, because I'm always calling Mike Miguel. That's a little bit of more of a problem because Mike is my husband.
Okay, Sanchez, dale.
But no, we were having a conversation about something similar, and I totally can resonate. Prior to the podcast, we were talking about something like this, and I can totally resonate with that. That I do feel like right now I'm not strong enough to have certain interactions in my life because I need to protect my kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I can't put myself in that situation where self-doubt is going to creep in, where my kids are potentially going to be hurt even more.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with not loving the person that's involved in this. It actually has everything to do with loving them enough to be able to know that right now they're experiencing something in their life, but I can't be part of that because that will drag me down.
And you have approached this person.
I have.
Right? And that's the thing is, right? It's
Multiple
not like,
times.
It's not like you're like, oh, you got problems, whatever.
No.
You have approached this person
100%.
and they're just not opening up. They're not telling you what's wrong. And then they want to drag you down, right? And emotionally. And so.
Yeah. So it's been, because it's been, absolutely. Like it's been, I wouldn't make a decision like this out of rush. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, you did this to me, I'm not talking to you. That's not something I would do unless, you know what? No, I wouldn't do that.
No,
unless it was something like traumatic or something that needed to be done right away. Right. Yeah. But with regards to this, I just feel like every time I put myself out there, I'm left speculating what I've done wrong.
Yeah.
And I can't keep being in that situation, right? Because then it just builds this like big ugly monster in my mind. And then at the end of the day, that big ugly monster consumes me. And guess what? It affects how I show up with my kids. Yeah. And I can't do that. So so it's intense, right? I'm like this whole relationships, life thing, like it's hard.
Yeah, no, I know. And I love the audience interaction today. And I think one of the most powerful as a takeaway for me is what Vanessa said a while back about parking, people parking your space.
Oh, living rent free, right?
Living rent free. Like that to me, there's two takeaways that I got big time. Your dog story. I don't know why I don't remember that one. I saw a general
it's
conference.
so good. I have to like give you my highlights. I've been listening to them. There's so many good addresses. Oh, so good.
But where's right here? So he goes, to me, the grudge is actively using your mental energies on someone.
Can you highlight it?
Or
Or maybe we might not be able to. That's okay.
Yeah, it's past. But add to the broadcast. So this is what she said, right? And again, to me, a grudge is actively using your mental energies on someone and letting them live rent-free in your head, as opposed to what Miguel was describing. That sounds to me like releasing them. And and I've never been able to word it. So thank you, Vanessa, for that. But absolutely. So that's the big thing. And the second big, huge, massive takeaway was your story, which is I can't be quick to, and even though I don't do it, but I got to be better at it. I can't be quick to like, oh, this was personal. This was against me. And I don't know what's going on in their life, right? And when you do that, you start to practice
Empathy.
And sympathy, right? Like you're like, you start, it's a decision based on love, not of anger, right? And in grudges, it tends to be personal.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
What's your takeaway?
I think my takeaway as we were chatting, and I'm hearing you, and I'm seeing all our beautiful people commenting, is the fact that we get to make a choice in what we do, right? With regards to your story, there's the choice that either you're dragged down with the person, or there's that choice where you gently like tap them away. Because keeping them away sounds kind of rough, so like, you like gently tap them away, right?
Sometimes it's gotta be aggressive, yo, just to let them
Hold on.
backhand, front hand, key and peel.
No, but it was a powerful takeaway, because I'm going through my own difficulties in my life, and you always want to do things, not, at least for myself right now, I'm focusing on doing things not out of emotion, but out of values and principles, right?
Yeah.
So if your value and principle is compassion, love, and protecting your family, you are going to have to make decisions that sometimes are tough. And these decisions are going to sometimes take some people away from your life just for a season, until you're strong enough to say, okay, like, let's do this again, or let's try this again, right?
Yeah.
So I think that has been my biggest takeaway.
Yeah. So
not we don't abuse the kids at camp.
well,
Like, just kidding.
just kidding. But yeah.
That never happened, by the way. The drowning story.
Oh, that did happen. Oh, that totally happened. I'm telling you. There's certain things that I actually left out that I'm not going to go into.
Share it.
Yeah, I'm not sharing that.
Yeah.
But those were good times. So listen, thank you for joining us today, guys.
Thank you so much.
This was absolutely amazing.
I know, I'm like,
You're trying to get in line with the camera?
Yeah, because I was like all like this. I'm like, oh, okay, we're.
But listen, right now our website is actually under construction. It's down right now, and the reason being is because we are loading all of our
downloadables.
All of our downloadables
Worksheets.
there, worksheets, downloadables, workbooks. So we got 2 big, massive workbooks coming into play, and so and then we're upping our profile. This week it's going to go live. So, but make sure that you follow us on all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification button, so when you guys get when we go live, you guys will get that notice.
Absolutely. Okay, hold on. Vanessa said something. She's like, y'all, I could tell you so much about this because it was such a big thing in my life, especially a few years ago. Maria knows, I think, what I'm referring to. Do not shout it out there. No, I totally, 100% girl.
Yeah.
Oh.
Omar! Holy! Hang on, we gotta go back. Hang on 1 second.
No, we're like ending.
No, I know we're ending the podcast. Hang on.
Okay. Let me see your head get bigger.
I love this kid. So he was one of my youth programs. When he was like, anyways, whatever. I love this kid.
Oh, Mar, thank you for coming. See the impact that you've had. He totally shut us down. Like, we were about to leave. He brought us back to give you a shout out.
I love this kid. I love his family, but I love this kid. There was nothing that I wouldn't do for this kid. That's all. Yeah. I've in the church, I've worked pretty much my entire church life with the youth program. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those kids that
it seems like he impacted your life.
Yeah, we had a very special relationship. He was just a good, big heart, good person. Always willing to do stuff and like help out and around the church and service. I can always count on him for anything.
Omar, look at you.
Yeah, I love this kid. Anyways, he's living in Toronto, I think it is.
I probably would be in a much darker place. Oh, Omar. Oh, why am I crying? Oh my gosh. Omar, shout out, buddy.
What a good feeling, Omar. I love you, dude. We need to go grab wings. We were supposed to, and then and then I got busy. Anyways,
he's gonna connect with you directly, Omar.
I am gonna connect. I'm opening up right now, and I'm gonna get emotional. My mascara is gonna be everywhere. I love you, Omar.
Anyway, guys, we love you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for checking out the podcast. Make sure if you want to hear it again, we are on Spotify, Apple, Amazon
Music.
Yeah, and you can check out our previous podcasts as well. Fill your life with light, and we love to share our light. So check us out.
Absolutely. Love you guys. See you next week, 10 o'clock. Peace.
Bye.
Get a minute, don't know. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. Let it. I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. In yourself when no one's to be found. What keeps you eased out? What takes you off your mind?
Guess you want this, I want this. Everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Take the time to recognize it. You won't leave me even if I tried it. You're the artist, in the mess, and happily perform the new in your hands.
I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure.